Hello and welcome, everybody. So, if you're just starting to join this session, take a minute to get yourself comfortable, ideally sat in a chair where your back can be supported, have some water to hand. And like all these videos, they are completely free. But if you would like to donate, then there is a link in my bio. Welcome to this session, which is all about how we can use tapping to really heal trauma, or at least start the trauma healing process. And this is a really important thing to do because unprocessed trauma can really have a deep impact on our mental and physical well-being. Trauma is an emotional response to an event or a series of events that really overwhelm our ability to cope. And trauma can impact or can affect every single human on this planet. And I think I would argue that everyone at some point in their life is going to experience something traumatic on, on a varying scale. What constitutes a traumatic event is really individual. So it's really unique to each person, and it depends on your childhood, your past experiences, your support network that you have around you, and your coping mechanisms. So let's say two people have a really traumatic car crash. One person may come out of that feeling, physically hurt, but from a mental health and well-being perspective, not really too affected. But the other person might come away with acute PTSD and not be able to get in a car for 10 years. So trauma can really impact each person very differently. Childhood trauma is even more complex because your brain is still very much in that developmental stage. And when we experience trauma as a child, it can be really confusing and really difficult because we're often not able to make sense of what's happening to us in those early years. A child might want to suppress or ignore something that's happened to them. Maybe they feel so ashamed they don't even talk about it, so they don't reach out to anyone. Maybe they're not offered the right kind of therapy or ways or techniques to process it. And often when you're really young, you don't even have the words, you don't even have the vocabulary to be able to process things that have happened to you that are traumatic. So quite often when someone experiences childhood trauma, it can be really suppressed and ignored. And the problem with suppressed trauma is that it can be carried right up into adulthood. And then what happens is, as adults, we are reacting to the present moment because of our past. Maybe you're reacting to something with a lot of anger. Maybe you just want to kind of collapse every time you experience conflict. Maybe you just want to run away or tap out in certain situations when you're feeling triggered. Or maybe when you're feeling triggered, you want to kind of over people please. Or maybe you, when you're triggered, feel really anxious or continually overthink. Or maybe when you're triggered, you can't stop ruminating over a certain past event. These are all normal responses to trauma. And there's 6 of them. So you have fight, flight, freeze, fawn, which is people pleasing, attach to cry for help, and collapse, submit. They're the 6 responses to trauma that we have. And when we have unprocessed trauma, whether that's from childhood or something from your earlier years, when it's left unprocessed, we might be reacting to things in the present day because of that trauma. And so it's really important to take time to process trauma, because the problem is with trauma, unfortunately, it's not going to go away. We might think that we're ignoring it and pretending that we're fine, pretending that we're okay, but your body remembers. Trauma is very much stored in the body. It's a mind-body experience. And quite often, the body might be giving you signals that you need to process something without you even consciously realizing it. So I'm going to give myself as an example, because I think that's always really, really important to do. I experienced childhood trauma. So when I was only 7 years old, my dad very sadly took his own life. And as a little girl, I felt that I'd done something wrong. I thought I'd made a mistake. I thought I thought I wasn't good enough. It triggered a limiting belief that I'm not good enough. And my adaptive response to that, and I say adaptive because it's really important to remember that whatever trauma response you have, it was the best way for you to survive whatever you went through. So let's say you experienced abuse when you were younger. Your brain might have wanted to dissociate, which is kind of a way to take you out of your body. And actually, at the time, that's a really highly adaptive way for you to have survived something that would have been really traumatic. So my adaptive way to respond to that trauma was I went into hyper people pleasing, because I thought I have to please everyone around me, have to make everyone happy in order for no one else to kill themselves. That might sound quite extreme, but obviously from a child's perspective, that's actually quite a normal survival response. So I wanted to people please everyone around me, in particular people in authority. And I became a perfectionist, and I put all my focus into work. I thought I have to be perfect at school. I have to achieve good grades. And actually, to a certain degree, this did serve me well. I did get good grades. I did well at school. I did well at university. I got a really great job in my early 20s in London at this marketing and events agency. And in a way, it kind of drove me forward. But it really came at a detriment to my mental health and well-being, because when I was 30 years old and I was working at Red Bull at the time, and I was faced with a really challenging situation where a female boss, I knew that she was going to try and get rid of me. I knew that there was nothing I could do to please this particular female boss. Now, I don't hold anything against this lady anymore, because I've really processed what went on. So I ended up having complete burnout, which is essentially a full nervous breakdown. And when I actually took time to pause and process what had happened to me, what I realized was I had unprocessed trauma. So yes, the situation that I was in was really difficult. I was in constant state of fight, flight, and I'm sure many people would have found that hard. But not everyone would have fully collapsed in the way that I did. So yes, I experienced burnout in a difficult work situation, but I had unprocessed trauma. So my nervous system was already working really, really hard. And then the fact that I wasn't able to please this person in authority, obviously for me, with my limiting beliefs and the unprocessed trauma that I had was just too much. It was kind of unthinkable. I couldn't, I totally lost my mental health. So one of the best things I ever did was take time to process my childhood trauma. And when I did, really everything else transformed. My mental health transformed. I lost my anxiety, my depression that I had at the time, which is where you reach when you have full burnout. And then my physical health transformed. My digestive system, all the IBS problems that I had, and the stomach problems that I have completely disappeared. It really transformed my mental and physical well-being. But I totally get it. Trauma is really, really hard to experience. And actually, burnout was one of the most traumatic things I've ever experienced and took me a long time to heal from. So trauma healing is really a journey. And that journey isn't linear. It might kind of look like this or kind of like this. It's really normal for it to kind of go up and down. So be really kind and gentle to yourself wherever you are on your trauma healing journey. And really, first step in healing trauma is just number one, to make sure that your nervous system feels safe. Because when you've experienced trauma, like I said, we quite often want to go into that fight, flight response or that trauma response, and we might not even know it's happening. So the breath work that I'm going to guide you through today has movement, because one of the trauma responses that I mentioned is that freeze response. We can feel kind of frozen and trapped. So movement is a really lovely way to really calm and soothe your nervous system. So for this breathing technique, you're going to start by doing some seated cat-cows. So place both hands on your thigh, and you're just going to roll your spine down and kind of look down to your chair or your feet. And then as you gently roll your spine up, you're going to look up to the ceiling, and then you're going to connect your breath as you do this. So breathe in as you roll down and exhale out through the mouth as you roll up. So let's do this together. So breathing in as you roll down, like that, looking to the floor, and then exhaling out as you roll your spine back up. Breathing in as you roll down. That's it, bending your spine, and then exhaling out as you look up to the ceiling. Let's do one more of those. So breathing in as you look down, bending your spine. And then exhaling out as you gently roll your spine up and look up at the ceiling. Okay, really good. Now I want you to continue to connect your breath, but just gently do some hip rolls. So breathing in and letting go. Maybe you want to rotate the other way, breathing in and letting go. Okay, really good. Now I want you to breathe in through your nose as you raise your hands up. And on your exhale, you're going to shake it down. Really good. Breathe in, rising up. Exhale, shake it down. And then I just want you to gently tap your fingers together. I'm going to show you here in case the microphone is covering in any way. And I want you to breathe in again through your nose. Letting go through your mouth. One more, breathing in. And letting go. Really good. I want you now to place one hand on your heart center, one hand on your belly, and gently close down your eyes. Visualization technique to help you gently tune in to a potential core memory that you might want to process today. So I want you to bring your breath to a gentle rise and fall as you really feel the protection that your hands are providing these two very important parts of your body. You are completely safe. You are completely protected. Really take a minute to feel your feet flat and grounded to the earth, to this present moment. And then I want you to imagine that you're walking into a beautiful vintage cinema. You take a seat at the back, and this cinema has the power to show you memories that you might have found really traumatic and really difficult. But remember, at no point are you in the film that you are watching, because you are the present moment and you are not your past. So take a moment to take that seat. Remember, you've got your hands protecting your body at all times. Then as you take a deep cleansing breath, breathing in and letting go. You are able to see a movie in front of you. And this is a movie that you found really traumatic. If you feel you need to, I want you to tap on your chest while you're doing this visualization. So just tune into what your body needs. But if it feels right for you, just keep your hand on your heart center and your belly. So take another deep cleansing breath, breathing in and letting go. I want you to gently see in front of you a movie that you found really challenging. But I don't want you to tune into the details. Okay, we're not going into details in this moment. That's very much for a kind of a one-to-one session with me. I just want you to tune in to just how it made you feel. So you're not tuning into the details, you're just tuning into how this movie made you feel. And I want you to take another deep cleansing breath, breathing in and letting go. Just knowing that you are completely safe in this moment with your hands protecting you and your breath to guide you as you gently reflect upon this movie. With no details, but just tuning in to how it made you feel. And I want you to take another deep cleansing breath, breathing in and letting go. Then I want you to repeat these words in your head. I am safe. I am protected. I am the present moment, and that's all that matters. Then as you say these words, I want you to tune in to the emotional charge that this memory has, that this movie has. So 0 to 10, 0 being doesn't have any emotional charge at all, in which case you might not have chosen it today. 10 being this was really challenging me and I still feel this really challenges me. Where would your number be with no judgment whatsoever? And I want you to gently open your eyes. Slowly lower your palms back down in your lap and take a few shoulder rolls for me like this. A few shoulder rolls. Maybe you move your neck from side to side, rolling around, looking up, looking down. If you need to take a few hip rolls, feel free to do that. Remember, we can really store trauma in the body. So just a few movements can allow your nervous system to have that freedom. We're going to begin by tapping on the karate chop. And I want you to repeat after me. Even though there was this movie, I choose to love and accept myself anyway. And even though this movie was traumatic, I'm reminding my whole nervous system that I am completely safe. And even though this movie was really tough, I love my body. I love my mind. I'm open to the possibility of feeling a bit more calm and grounded. For this process, we're going to do double tapping. So you now move to the inner eyebrow point, double tapping, closing down the eyes, and repeat after me. This movie, outer eyebrow, was really hard. Underneath the eye, this movie. Underneath the nose was really challenging. Underneath the mouth. How did this movie make me feel? And then as you double tap on the chest, I just want you to, with your eyes gently closed, tune into how the movie made you feel. Again, no details, just how it made you feel. Really allow whatever emotion needs to come up. And as you do, remember to breathe. So as an emotion comes up, just breathe. And out. Double tapping underneath the arms. Again, just tuning in to how this movie made you feel, with no judgment. Remembering to breathe, breathing in, breathing out. And tapping on the head, once again tuning in, how did this movie make you feel? Remembering to breathe with any emotion that comes up, breathing in, letting go. Moving to the inner eyebrow point, repeat after me. All of my emotions are valid. Outer eyebrow. All of my emotions are valid. Underneath the eye, my trauma response was normal and valid. Underneath the nose, I've carried this movie for a long time now. Underneath the mouth, it's a weight on my body and mind. Tapping on the chest. So I choose in this moment, underneath the arm, to be open to the possibility. Tapping on the head, of finally feeling more free. As I remind my nervous system that I am the present moment, and that's all that matters. Place your palms facing up, shut down your eyes, deep cleansing breath for me, breathing in and out. Then with eyes still remaining closed, taking a moment to first tune in to your body. Okay, how does your body feel in this moment? And if there's any areas of tension, just keep breathing into that part of your body. Or if you feel tension in your chest or your tummy, again, feel free to place your hands on your body. Work with what your body needs. Does your body need a little bit of movement? Do you need to roll your shoulders? What does your body need? And then just gently tune in to your number. Where is the emotional intensity now on that movie? As you've gently begun to be open to the possibility of allowing your nervous system the moment to process it. Then gently open your eyes. We're going to do another round. Even though there was this movie, I choose to love and accept myself anyway. And even though this movie brings up so many emotions, That's okay. All of my emotions are valid. And I'm reminding my nervous system that we are completely safe. And even though this movie was really challenging, I love my body. I love my mind. I'm open to the possibility of feeling more calm and grounded. Then moving to the inner eyebrow point, closing down the eyes, repeat after me. I give myself permission to relax. Outer eyebrow. I give myself permission to slow down. Underneath the eye. I give myself permission to feel safe. Underneath the nose. I give myself permission to relax and feel safe. Tapping on the chest. I am the present moment. Underneath the arm, and that's all that matters. Tapping on the head. I'm not my past. Inner eyebrow, so I wonder if. Outer eyebrow, I can finally allow my nervous system. Underneath the eye, my body and my mind. Underneath the nose, the opportunity to process this movie. Underneath the mouth, I give myself permission to relax and be free. Tapping on the chest, I'm so proud of how far I've come. Underneath the arm, I give myself permission to relax and feel calm. Tapping on the head, I am the present moment. I am safe. I am strong. I am courageous. I am brave. Place your palms facing up, shut down your eyes, take a deep cleansing breath, breathing in, letting go. And with your eyes still remaining closed, just take a minute to tune in firstly to the body. How's your body feeling in this moment? And take a minute to tune in to how you feel in this moment. Where would the intensity be on that movie just in this moment? And so you really give your whole nervous system permission to relax, feel safe, and slow down. And gently open your eyes. We're going to do one more final round. So tapping on the karate chop, repeat after me. Even though there was this crappy movie I love and deeply accept myself anyway. And even though this movie was really challenging, I am strong. I am resilient. I am courageous. And even though this movie was really challenging, I love my body. I love my mind. I am the present moment. And that's all that matters. Moving to the inner eyebrow point, closing down the eyes. Repeat after me. I am the present moment. Outer eyebrow. And that's all that matters. Underneath the eye, I am completely safe. Underneath the nose, I'm not my past. Underneath the mouth, I'm not my future. Tapping on the chest, I am the present moment. Underneath the arm, and that's all that matters. Tapping on the head, I am so proud of how far I've come. Inner eyebrow, I am resilient. Outer eyebrow, I am courageous. Underneath the eye, I choose to be excited. Underneath the nose, about what my future holds. Underneath the mouth, this movie does not define me. Tapping the chest, I am excited about what my future holds. Underneath the arm, I am free to be whoever I want to be. And tapping on the head, I am excited about what my future holds. Then place your palms facing up, shut down your eyes, take a deep cleansing breath, breathing in, letting go. And with your eyes still remaining closed, tuning in to your body. How does your body feel in this moment? And then gently tuning in to how you feel in this moment. Where is your number now on the emotional intensity of the movie? Remember, even if it's gone down by 0.5 points, that's still doing incredible work to process that movie. So take a deep cleansing breath for me, breathing in and letting go. Then you can slowly start to open your eyes, becoming present to this moment once again. Well done, everybody. It is not easy working on trauma, working on traumatic memories, but you've just done incredible work today just to start that process. So notice today we didn't go into any details because that is very much something that I would advise you do with a practitioner like myself. So if you do have any form of trauma that you would like to process, please do get in contact. Kim@happyheads.me. I would love to help, and private sessions, especially with tapping, are the perfect way to work on your own individual needs. But even if you don't want to do that yet, just really trust that you've already done incredible work to gently start to process that movie and really remind your nervous system that you are in fact the present moment, that you're not your past, and that giving yourself the permission to finally be free. And I think the really important thing with trauma as well is to remind yourself that you can be excited about what your future holds. Trauma can really hold us and keep us trapped in the past. So really reminding your nervous system that there is hope is an incredible way to also heal. Thank you so much for joining today. I look forward to seeing you next week, where we have a session all about tapping to process financial stress. Goodbye.